Hello and welcome to another episode of the Healthy Voyager's Global Kitchen. I'm Carolyn Scott Hamilton, and today we're making sweet potato and black bean enchiladas with a homemade avocado tomatillo sauce. Okay, so this is what you're gonna need. So you're gonna need two sets of ingredients for this recipe. One for the enchiladas and one for the sauce, and I'm gonna show you the sauce ingredients while the enchiladas are baking. But for the enchiladas, you're gonna need 2 mashed sweet potatoes, 1 15-ounce can of refried black beans, 1 and 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 to 3 garlic cloves minced, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/8 teaspoon or a little bit more if you want of cumin, salt and pepper to taste. Then you're gonna need some corn tortillas or flour if you prefer. We're going gluten-free, so we're doing corn. Then some chopped spinach and some shredded vegan cheese to roll into your enchiladas. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna make the sweet potato black bean filling for the enchiladas. We're gonna get a medium-sized bowl, and we're gonna go ahead and just dump the refried black beans into there, and then the mashed sweet potatoes. And then we're gonna go ahead and toss in all the rest of the filling ingredients except for the cheese and the spinach. So we're gonna put in the smoked paprika, garlic. Again, if you like it garlicky, go ahead and bump it up for an extra clove. Then we put in the onion powder, and then the cumin. Also, bump that up if you like. Then we're gonna eyeball it and do a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of pepper. And you can also add some more in later. And there'll be plenty of flavor in the salsa coming up next. All right, so we're just gonna mix this in until it's like a big, colorful paste. And once we're all done mixing all the ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and spoon it right into the tortillas. We've already preheated our oven to 425 degrees. So once we've assembled our enchiladas, we're gonna pop them in for about 8 minutes. Because the tortillas are so thin, they'll burn easily, but they'll crisp up nicely and warm everything up pretty quickly and melt that cheese. So it doesn't have to be totally perfect, just enough to make sure that you've really, really mixed all the black beans and sweet potato together. And it's okay if you've got some sweet potato chunks in there because it tastes yummy. The more you can mix it, the better it is for your filling. Okay. All right, so that's all pretty well mixed. We're gonna go ahead and start to assemble our tortillas. So we'll be doing a little bit of an assembly line. And we're gonna take about a spoonful, a heaping tablespoon or so of the filling, mash it down a little bit. You don't wanna overfill it because they'll explode in the oven. So mash it down to a handful, fingerful of spinach and a fingerful of cheese. You don't wanna overload it again because it'll melt and explode the tortilla. Then you're gonna roll it up, and then you're gonna do it seam side down into your pan. And it is a greased pan so that it doesn't stick. All right, so now we're gonna just fill these all up, and once they're done, we're gonna pop them in the oven for about 5 to 8 minutes. All right, so we are just about done with this last guy. And we're gonna go ahead, pop it in, and take these to bake 425 for about 5 to 8 minutes. Make sure they're nice and golden, and then that way you'll know that the inside is all ready and the cheese is melted. Okay, so while the enchiladas are baking, we're gonna go ahead and make the tomatillo avocado salsa. All right, so what you're gonna need is 3 husked and quartered tomatillos, a 1/2 cup of white onion chopped, a 1/2 cup of chopped cilantro, 2 to 3 garlic cloves minced, the juice of 1 lime or maybe a little more if you like your salsa tangy, 2 medium avocados, and salt and pepper to taste. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and put in the tomatillos and the onions and only about half of the cilantro because you're gonna divide it because we have about 1/2 cup, so we're gonna do about 1/4 cup of the cilantro and save that for later. The juice of the lime, and then the garlic cloves. Make sure you get all that yummy garlic in there. We're gonna process it into a salsa type texture. And then once we have it all processed, we're gonna go ahead and cook it down so it becomes like a gelatinous type salsa, because otherwise it's chunky and you need that tomatillo and the onion to simmer together and get really, really delicious and gooey. So we're gonna put a little bit of salt and pepper in here, and then we can go ahead and taste it later and season it after. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get this processed down and pop it into our pan to simmer for a little while. All right, so it's all blended up. And now we're gonna just cook it so that it all simmers together and gets all delicious. I'm gonna just pour it right into our pot. So it kind of looks like salsa. You wanna cook off a little bit of that liquid so it's a little more thick, and then it gets really delicious when we put in the avocados later. All right, so we've got it there. We're gonna put it on medium to low heat, and we're just gonna let it simmer down to cook off a little bit of that liquid. All right, so it looks like our tomatillo has cooked down. It's nice and jelly-like a little bit like a jam. That liquid is cooked down. So if you're gonna go ahead and mix the avocado in a regular blender, I suggest that you let this cool. But if you happen to have an immersion blender, you can go ahead and do that right away, because blending hot liquids is really scary. So what you're gonna do is, if you have the immersion blender or you let this cool and you put it in the blender, you take all the tomatillo mixture and you add in your avocado and you add in the remaining of your cilantro. And if you want to add a little more lime juice, you can, because I like mine a little more tangy. Do a little bit more salt and pepper just to add a little more punch. And then we're just going to go ahead and blend. All right. So again, if you're using a blender, best to let this cool first. All right, so lucky we have an immersion blender, and we're just gonna go ahead and start mixing. All right, all the avocados in there. It smells awesome. All right, so our sauce is ready. I'm gonna set that aside, and we're gonna plate our delicious enchiladas. Let's get these guys out of the way. And off we go. Yum. Again, these are also super easy. Kids love them. You can't go wrong with enchiladas. They're protein packed with the beans. They're veggie packed with the spinach and the avocado. All good stuff. Let's get these nice and pretty. And then we'll pop the sauce on. You will wish you were at my house for dinner. That's for sure. All right, time to get some sauce. It's cilantro-y and limey. Nice green enchilada sauce, like a salsa verde. Yum! You can also add a little more lime, squeeze it on top of the enchiladas, and then get some cilantro for garnish. It looks so pretty. And a little more cheese if you want, but I like mine melted. All right, well, there you go. Those are our sweet potato and black bean enchiladas with avocado tomatillo sauce. So yum. Well, if you like this recipe, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or requests, I love recipe requests, pop them down in the comment section below or send me a message. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, everywhere at Healthy Voyager, as well as healthyvoyager.com. And make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any more recipe videos. Looking forward to seeing you again and munching on these. I'll see you next time on the Healthy Voyager's Global Kitchen. Bye.